Singapore has executed a man for bringing 1 kilogram of cannabis into the city-state. 46-year-old Tanggaraju Supayo was hanged on Wednesday morning, 5 years after he was first sentenced to death. His execution came despite pleas for clemency from his family, as well as the UN Human Rights Office and billionaire Richard Branson. Singapore has notoriously strict drug laws. It executed 11 people on drug charges last year. To find out more about the case, our reporter James Chater spoke to Kirsten Han, a member of the Transformative Justice Collective, an organization that advocates for the abolition of the death penalty in Singapore.
Tell us a bit about his case and why the Transformative Justice Collective have described the evidence against him as shockingly thin.
Tanggaraju was convicted not of trafficking, but of abetting by conspiracy to traffic about 1 kilo of cannabis, but he's never handled or seen the cannabis that he was accused of trying to traffic. He was tied to the offense months after arrests were made of the people who actually were in possession of the cannabis, and he was tied to it based on phone numbers that two of the guys who were arrested had on their phones, and they claimed that the phone numbers belonged to him. However, they never actually recovered his mobile phones to do analysis. So out of everybody who was involved, it was Tanggaraju that was sentenced to death, even though he was not the one who was handling the drugs. And we also had concerns that during questioning, he did not have legal counsel with him. And he had also said that he asked for a Tamil interpreter and was not given one. So he had trouble, following and understanding the questioning and also the statement.
How has his case been discussed in Singapore? Has it reignited a debate about the use of capital punishment?
What we saw this week was that the English language mainstream media pretty much only covered his case to repeat government statements justifying and defending the death penalty and his death sentence. So it's not like his story was able to have a really wide reach among Singaporeans to generate like a nationwide debate.
We've seen Thailand recently decriminalize marijuana. Why is it that Singapore is so resistant to the relaxation of restrictions on this issue?
So I think for the Singapore government, it's really like this is a position that they've held for a very long time, and they don't want to look like they're pressured into changing things. It's really very jarring to see that huge contrast, right? That Thailand, which is not actually that far away from us, has decriminalized and legalized, and you can go to Thailand and there's just cannabis that's openly being sold and consumed, and in Singapore people are dying for it. So for these prisoners, it's also very hard for them to accept that this is such a huge difference. They are not necessarily advocating for Singapore to decriminalize cannabis, but they're just saying don't kill us for it. And so it really just shows how out of step Singapore is with not just the international community, but even our neighbors in this region.